Yo, what up? You're tuned in right now with SpeakerBox X, V-Riv, and Thesis right now on the ones and twos. We doing what we do. Jump on in.
You're listening to KTDT Tucson. We're 99.1 FM, downtown radio, your antidote to corporate radio. You're now tuning into SpeakerBox X, subterranean hip hop in effect, with your host, V-Riv. We have a very special guest in the house, and he goes by Undead Exspiravit. So we're going to go ahead and dive into the mind of Undead Exspiravit. And the first question I have for you is, where were you born and raised?
Raised here in the city, here in Tucson, Arizona.
Nice.
And
nice.
I left the city for a little bit. Bit of a story there, but usually I've been here for about 5 years. After I came back to Arizona, I've been here for about 5 years, and I've just been making music ever since.
Nice. Okay, cool.
Usually started when I came back, but etc.
Okay, cool. All right. So how did you come up with your artist name, Undead Exspiravit?
The name is Latin. Exspiravit is actually it's a Latin word that roots directly to English as ghost. So you see the connection there. And Undead Exspiravit takes the concept of a ghost, and well, I'm still here. I'm not quite literally. I'm not haunting houses yet, but so we're here. We're undead.
Sweet. Okay. No, I like that. That's dope. Let's go ahead and move on to the next question. What type of music and or artist played a major role in shaping your adolescent years?
Oh, Let me see if I could process that real quick. So you mean like basically which is like an artist that was most influential, basically?
Yeah, what was the music you grew up with that played a pivotal role in your adolescent years, like that really you resonated with, like you couldn't stop listening to?
I came from a lot of people that were they mixed genres a lot. Or maybe I was just around a lot of people who were different from each other. And I got to experience multiple genres firsthand. After listening to all the genres and I had to kind of pick one that I resonated with the most. Yeah. And the world, and whatever genre that I would pick, that would go on to be the rest of, even to this day, I'm still connected to the genres I had since the beginning were rock and hip hop. There was just two worlds.
Could you name a few of the artists?
Artists in particular, like I got when I grew up, I would be listening to stuff like 3 Days Grace would be playing. I never really played the music. There was always music playing around me, and most of it was just old classic rock, things like that. Artists that are similar to like Linkin Park and 3 Days Grace and bands like that. I haven't listened to them in a while, but those really did shape the beginning. Things don't have to be the way they are kind of mentality, and
Yeah.
I've really embraced that idea as a kid.
Nice.
It's kept me to stay on the creative side. I never really liked something so rigid. Even schedules are kind of rigid for me. I like to switch things up every day.
No, it's true. Very true.
That's how I feel about it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, when it comes to schedules, and I mean, I know we live in a linear time, so to speak, but yeah, it sucks that we get caught in the ritual of having to get up in the morning and do the same old thing, right? Got to go to work, come back, at, a certain hour. But yeah, I'm liking the fact that you think outside the box, and I think like more people should start thinking outside the box and start thinking, hey, is there a way that we can make passive income? Is there a way we can make money without having to stick to a schedule, 9 to 5 that we pretty much dread?
I just feel free to live life, be able to do the ideas that you always dream about. Everybody talks to, people I talk to on a daily basis. We're always talking about things we want to do and things we want to build and ideas we can just put together. Oh, but it takes money. and people are so creative with their ideas, and then the one thing that hits a wall is money. And then that's where friends drift apart. That's where friends fall apart, and they don't. Instead of conspiring to start a company or actually start something and follow through, it takes a lot of work. Exspiravit Records wasn't always just me, but I wasn't really having a team back when I started it. It started with me. It grew to a little something.
Yeah.
And then some. I'm not really sure what happened. Probably before COVID. I was getting right to the point of figuring it out, right? And then the COVID pandemic happened, and then I kind of lost all my clues. So I was like a bunch of broken, no, not broken,
fractured
missing
pieces?
puzzle pieces. Yeah, fractured puzzle pieces, and they're scattered throughout the city, and I have to find them one by one.
Hey, well, I'm glad you're out there doing that. I'm glad you're doing that. I'm glad you're going to find those pieces and put them together. But speaking of pieces putting together, your track called Live in This World. I really gravitated to this track. Can you give us some insight on what inspired you to create this track, Live in This World?
Live in This World, it is very, I make it descriptive. I like to make most of my songs somewhat symbolic, somewhat kind of a deeper meaning or a double meaning. One of the two, sometimes not the other. But Live in This World in particular, I'm going to talk about it specifically, it's not just the colors you see in the world. The world is colorful, but that doesn't mean it isn't gray to most people.
True.
Most people probably, it looks like there's a lot of people in the room, but to every person in that room, they're alone in their self. And it's very easy to get yourself lost in that feeling and stay in that feeling. And if you're in that headspace for too long, you begin to kind of close up. And when you stay closed up for so long, it's hard for you to open back up. I think that's the worst pandemic. I think that's been here since long before COVID.
No, for sure.
Probably when we started using our cell phones a lot more than actually.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and take a musical break. I'm going to go ahead and play the track called Live in This World by Undead Exspiravit.
Who becomes safe when you live in this world? When you're born in this world, you get hurt in this world. How to escape, don't know how to escape, don't know how to escape. How I live in this world, live in this world, live in this world, live in this world. You get hurt in this world, live in this world, live in this world, live in this world. You get hurt in this world. Who becomes safe when you live in this world? When you're born in this world, you get hurt in this world. How to escape, don't know how to escape, don't know how to escape how I live in this world, live in this world, live in this world, live in this world. You get hurt in this world, you get hurt in this world, you get hurt in this world, you get hurt in this world when you live in this world. Don't waste my time, I need no one. Skirt through highways, I do donuts. You don't get cash, but I blow it. I walk through these shadows unnoticed. I'll be back home in the morning. I can't go back, I hit a coma. I hit a coma, I hit a coma, I hit them coming, can't move in my coma. My feet's getting colder, my hands getting cold, I'm too stuck in my coma. Stuck on my phone, I'm too stuck in my moments. I'm compulsively cause no one's been holding us through the life stage, I get lonely. I wish to go places where no one's going. I live like my life, I get lost in the moment. I've been making my life with potions. Parents smoking and I'm coping while I'm posting my promotions. Secrets on my mind, I get to choking. It be too much on the pressure, but they come where it goes. And I ain't never need to give in, they ain't never want to smoke. I be seeing you for how you never even show the love. I'm done with how emotion gotta go. I'm here for how my energy is dope. But I be hearing you just gotta cope. And press it to your brain and you still think that it's a joke. But I done lost too many hits to see you hanging on a rope. People like you make me feel alone. Who becomes safe when you live in this world? When you're born in this world, you get hurt in this world. How to escape, don't know how to escape, don't know how to escape how I live in this world, live in this world, live in this world, live in this world. You get hurt in this world, live in this world, live in this world, live in this world. You get hurt in this world. Who becomes safe when you live in this world? When you're born in this world, you get hurt in this world. How to escape, don't know how to escape, don't know how to escape how I live in this world, live in this world, live in this world, live in this world. You get hurt in this world, you get hurt in this world, you get hurt in this world, you get hurt in this world when you live in this world. Don't waste my time, I need no one. Skirt through highways, I do donuts. You don't get cash, but I blow it. I walk through these shadows unnoticed. I'll be back home in the morning. I can't go back, I hit a coma. I hit a coma.
You're listening to 99.1 FM Downtown Radio, your antidote to corporate radio. You're now tuning into SpeakerBox X, subterranean hip hop in effect with your host V-Riv. So we just played the track called Live in This World by Undead Exspiravit, and we're talking to him and we're diving into the mind of Undead Exspiravit. So what was a pivotal point in your life that made you decide that emceeing was something you wanted to pursue a career in?
As in an event, or
yeah, like was there an event in your life, or did someone, like, when did that happen when you're like, you know what, I really enjoy doing this, I want to do this for a lifetime? Where were you when was that moment?
Whenever new artists would come out, that was what was a trip for me. I started seeing new artists. You know, there was mainstream artists like Drake, Big Sean, Snoop Dogg, people we listened to and our parents listened to. And even after that, you know, it was the new artists. Every time there would be something that pops up. And whenever I was like, hold up. So it's not always these people up here. You got new face here, new face here, new face here. There's people in my city that do this. Hang on. I'll be right back. A few years later, I come out with a handful of tracks, and I go to school one day with a CD collection of it, and I'm just trying to see if people like it.
That's dope. No, that's good. I'm glad that you got inspired. Good.
And even then, you know, after that, it's just kind of like swimming in an ocean. It's like training. I think really to go through the length that this music career demands, you got to train like you're swimming through the Atlantic.
Right.
And you're going to cross it all the way type of thing. And the further you go, like 1,000 streams in revenue is like a mile in the ocean. No,
I hear you. No, I heard that Spotify pretty much jerks.
It takes a while to walk a mile.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I read about the amount of money that that Spotify pays the artist, and it goes with how many people are listening to it. And I mean, you have to have like a ton, like thousands upon thousands, hundreds of thousands of people to listen to your stuff in order to get paid decently. But yeah, I mean, the struggle's real. I mean, you know what I mean? And it's not just Spotify, but I know there's other
once it happens, it always I don't even begin with the streams. The streams is, the streams have to happen when you have a lot of listeners. I'm
Yeah.
starting with just the listeners. That's why my SoundCloud, I make no money off that page. I make nothing. I don't make a dime off SoundCloud. I don't plan to make a dime off SoundCloud. You can listen to my stuff. You can listen to anything, download whatever of my content you want. And when everything's more official, then, you know, obviously the Spotify's always been here. The iTunes has always been here.
Yeah.
The Google Play has always been here. And I just want to have that just available. So when people want to support, they can choose to support rather than trying to kind of hide where the money's coming from, try to hide behind the numbers. I can't imagine hiding behind something like clout and having 1 million views on your YouTube channel, but you're not living.
Yeah. I see what you mean.
You're like your life's terrible, but you have 1 million views. What's that good to live for?
No, yeah, hear you. Yep. But yeah, I mean, it sucks the way the world is structured. I mean, I feel like it's getting more and more centralized, and I feel like more and more things are taken away. You know what I mean? Like even with, I mean, artists already have it bad. Like, you know, starving artists is a real thing, and not everybody's, you know.
So why do we live in a world where like we have to look at it that way, like things that are taken away?
Yeah.
This is a operation. Somebody's running it, but that's kind of anybody with a record label can start their own operation.
Yeah, but it's like big businesses and small businesses. You have like, you know, the big corporations are always trying to trample over the small businesses, and that's not fair. So I feel like an equal playing field, or kind of an equal playing field, would be, you know, beneficial to all. So that's the way I see it. I feel like, you know, we have these like big record labels, and you have the small record label, and yeah, there's a lot of successful independent artists, but it's super duper hard for them. It's like way harder than it should be.
Yeah, and they work 10 times.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Signed artists that you'll see on a contract deal.
Yeah, for sure. So my next question to you is, when was the first time you picked up a mic?
I'm gonna go with the my first Who's Hotter performance. When I first hopped on stage, it was at Y'all Open Mic's concert. It was at it was South Benson Highway. It was at this the dive bar and kitchen.
Cool. All right.
It was a great experience. There was a lot of artists came together. It slowly grew into something pretty big, and it was really good for a local event here in Tucson.
Yeah.
And I felt great being a part of it. Everybody did. It was a great vibe.
Sweet. All right, with that, we're going to go ahead and take a musical break. I'm going to go and play the track called Memories by Undead Exspiravit.
Voice.
Energy feeding me mentally. I wait for nobody, I pop like melody. Look for me, you will not find me, ayy. I think this world is my enemy. I think my thoughts are epiphanies. No loyalty, you were dead to me. When I die, I'll remember what you said to me, ayy. I just want memories. Energy feeding me mentally. I wait for nobody, I pop like melody. Look for me, you will not find me, ayy. I think this world is my enemy. I think my thoughts are epiphanies. No loyalty, you were dead to me. When I die, I'll remember what you said to me, ayy. I awake in silence, this earth and I would be vibing. I scroll and hit play when I'm vibing. I'm hoping you see how tired I've been, and you see me indifferent, that's fine then. I hold my rope like a kite string, and it's burning hot, I cannot let go. I got dark thoughts, broken heartstrings, and I'm only going off an instinct. I got blades on my feet on a thin ice ring. I might break any moment and fall straight down. It gets cold and now it ain't no saving me. Breaking my mold, you can't mimic me. Can't keep you this close, you might keep my keys. Or killing my time, you just killing me. And if I'm finna die, I kill everything. And if you take my life, then you live for me. You better make life what you hope it be. You best not go breaking your soul for me. I'll hunt you down in my death, you wish you love me. And if you take my life, then you live for me. You better make life what you hope it be. Don't best not go breaking your soul for me. I'll hunt you down in my death, you wish you love me. Cause I just want memories. Energy feeding me mentally. I wait for nobody, I pop like melody. Look for me, you will not find me, ayy. I think this world is my enemy. I think my thoughts are epiphanies. No loyalty, you were dead to me. When I die, I'll remember what you said to me, ayy. I just want memories. Energy feeding me mentally. I wait for nobody, I pop like melody. Look for me, you will not find me, ayy. I think this world is my enemy. down. I want gas pounds like it's propane. We should link up, play 2K. I just hope you understand I'm okay, I'm all straight. Long as I my thumbs all pain. All the same, living day by day, all day. When I'm high up in a new place, new game. All kinds of worlds I get into and I'm in space. Change how I look at the world, I got new pain. They said I'm built different, well I guess that means I'm okay. Who got my style, I guess they really do hate. Skies on me watching the angels see pain. My whole world fall apart and you think that I'm okay. Suicide only brings more pain. Thought of myself when I'm erased, make me feel like I stop life for the e-break. Can't let this go cause it got me like shark bait. Can't let you win, you a narc, eh? I'm just gonna do my little part, eh? I rise to the ranks, I'm a star, eh? Cause I need it more than my heart, eh? And I'm flipping my hustle, my ace card. You f***ing with me cause I've been hard. And who gotta hate when there's nothing to say? When there's nothing to say, I just work hard. I just want memories, energy feeding me mentally. I wait for nobody, I pop like melody. Look for me, you will not find me, eh? I think this world is my enemy. I think my thoughts are epiphanies. No loyalty, you were dead to me. When I die, I'll remember what you said to me, eh? I just want memories, energy feeding me mentally. I wait for nobody, I pop like melody. Look for me, you will not find me, eh? I think this world is my enemy. I think my thoughts are epiphanies. No loyalty, you were dead to me. When I die, I'll remember what you said to me, yeah, I remember what you said about me. Let all my demons make room for my peace, and I'm shocked you remember me. I thought my friends all forgot about me. I keep thinking my friends are my enemies, and it's f***ing me up a lot mentally. You play like it's cool, but I'll never be a whole different image you never see, yeah. Round here I'm stuck when I live up and tuck. I'm surprised you move like you ain't heard of me. I don't got kids, I got mini-me's. I don't want your vibes, you can let me be. My weed my sp is my energy. I don't double team, I'm an entity. You solid or not, you just with me or not. You a rat, don't approach me aggressively.
You're listening to 99.1 FM Downtown Radio, your antidote to corporate radio. You're now tuning into SpeakerBox X. Subterranean hip hop in effect with your host V-Riv. We just played the track called Memories by Undead Exspiravit, and we're just chopping it up. We're asking him questions regarding when was the first time he picked up the mic, and he picked up the mic in at the Dive Bar, which is a really dope venue, by the way, the Dive Bar in Tucson. So we're gonna go ahead and keep diving into the mind of Undead Exspiravit. So my next question to you is, the Memories is a great song, but how did that track come together? Memories.
How did it come? Well, do you want like the lens of like when I was writing it? It was
Everything. Go deep.
Honestly, it came pretty quickly. I was telling a story about, if I can really remember it. It's one of my favorites. It actually is my above everything else, because the song that came before that, the F the Money, came right before that song, and Memories was kind of a follow up. But I wanted Memories to hit us a different way, kind of because the song that came before it, the F the Money, was more of an output energy. It was more like, I prefer this and that. I'm not a materialistic person. I got more earthy values or something. I don't know. It's a Taurus thing. But Memories was more of something like, all right, I'm here. I've established what I am in the room. Now I want to stay here. Now I want to do something. I don't want to talk anymore. Let's do something.
Okay.
Memories.
I like that. Yeah. That's a good way of giving the audience a snapshot of it. I think that's very fitting for Memories. Where'd you get the beat, by the way? Where'd you get the beat?
Shout out to New Scores, shout out to Cubsy, shout out to, I'm gonna have to look. Definitely I'm meeting him over the internet. I've been trying to get a hold of Cubsy, but he hasn't come back to me yet. So Cubsy, I know you're gonna be watching this, because I'm gonna promote it everywhere in your server and you'll see it. Shout out to Cubsy with After Money, and I believe Memories as well. Yeah, it was Memories.
Sweet. Okay.
Definitely. And
good to know.
They're really good. I definitely give them all the credit they deserve.
For sure. No, it's really good. My next question to you is, which artists or songs do you turn to motivate or inspire you?
Recently, I've been feeling a lot of Ace Hood lately. It's always changing though. You know, it's sometimes like a year ago I was listening to Lil Skies and I found a lot of his songs motivating, but there's been I can't really just name it. I know everybody. It sounds cliche to say, well, I can't just name a few, but people say that like they're gonna mention a whole book list of artists that they listen to. I personally like I forget half the songs that I know. I don't know how people will be remembering songs that they listened to 4 or 5 years ago, but when you get them, it's max.
Oh yeah, very true.
Like sometimes I'll be putting on Johnny Cash and like everybody like forgot about Johnny Cash for a second, but when you play him, it's oh yeah, that's a great artist. And Johnny Cash also had a mentality that inspired a lot of how I view things today. It's very simple.
Oh, nice. Cool. What's your opinion on the state of hip hop? Is it in a state of emergency, a state of renaissance? And on that note, what do you think about Tucson's hip hop scene? Do you think it's in a state of emergency, state of renaissance?
I think the room is quiet. I think it's been empty for a really long time.
Okay.
As far as the state of an emergency, I definitely feel where people are coming from that. I can see where they're thinking about that as hip hop's going in a wrong direction. It's not getting any better. It's serving the purpose that it did in the 90s. It's not telling you about what's going on in the neighborhood outside my door. It's changing because people are getting bored of the subject. They want to talk about something else. That's why the music isn't what they talked about in the 90s.
Yeah.
I never understood why people get so upset about that.
I guess
but they're also looking at, they're comparing different panels.
Yeah.
Expecting it to be the same panel.
Yeah.
Hip hop is not just one genre. It never was and it never will be. People who hope that so preciously, it's because hip hop formed a lot of our greatest mentalities, ideologies that we think of. Just real. Nothing's real as hip hop. Nothing keeps it as solid as hip hop. Pop dances around the subject. You got rock that just drives it straight to the core. It's, you know, metal's pretty to the point. It's not that hard to listen to metal. It's to the point, and it's so to the point that people want something with a little more meaning, a little more something that's not staticky. I get it, and this is how it is to think as a person who listens to multiple genres. Everything has its own slot, and it proves different points. Hip hop is supposed to educate you. Rock is more of an outlet. It's kind of
emotions, man.
It wasn't.
Yeah, like when you said
it's emotions.
Yeah, I was like Linkin. I love Linkin Park. That I mean, you know, it was all about angst, about like not fitting in, but yet feeling like you have the sadness, but you kind of know where it's coming from, but you don't. You know, it's just very. I don't know. I love Linkin Park because the way they were able to like.
Linkin Park. They talk about a force that resonates with you so deeply. It's. And they do it through they explain a force through a force. Yeah. So you're kind of seeing a double mirror image of what's going on, but they're painting a picture with sound, and it's insane how deep they take you, because they take you through two walls.
Yeah.
When they talk about the force through music, that force they're talking about that's just raw energy, and it's energy that's missing. It's energy that they think about. Like take for example, when I'm thinking about a stage and I'm thinking about a really lit concert, but then the concert happens, and then now you're in this point of the timeline where you're thinking about that lit concert and everything that happened, and then you're not. But then, like, this is the kind of stuff that I like that Linkin Park really explains in their music, is because after the hype is over, how do you move on and start it up again? You're starting all over. You're starting from scratch. And when you do that with anything, money can't solve that. That's where the footwork comes in.
No, yeah. I mean,
I think it makes anything possible.
Yeah, like I remember Chester, he was, interviewed, and he just talked about, I didn't know this, but he went through a lot of stuff as a child. There was a lot of abuse going on in his childhood, and it's crazy to know that those songs, now I look back, I see them differently, because before I used to think of it, oh, he's talking about feeling this way because of, a different situation, right? But then when he opened up in the interview, I'm like, whoa, he's talking about when he was a kid and he saw all this, and you know what I mean? It took me to it, like I had to listen to it again. I'm like, wow, and I saw it with totally completely different lens, and I love that. Like you said, there's different walls, and I love the fact that it's open to interpretation. Like I love that about music, is that everybody has their own take on it, so cool.
And it's never the same. It's what a snowstorm this industry's become.
No, yeah.
What a snowstorm. For every snowflake, you have an artist. But check this out. Other snowflakes are the same color, the same general shape, but the details are different.
Yeah.
So what really makes that much of a difference between the artist and the listener? That same mirror effect that's described in Chester's lyrics.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. That's pretty cool. No, I like that you brought that to the forefront, because that's very true. Let's go ahead and talk about, what do you enjoy doing in your free time? What movies, books, magazines, podcasts have you been reading and or listening to lately?
Lately, I've been catching myself watching some of those motivational videos, the ones you watch for like an hour or like 10 hours. And I don't think they're 10-hour videos. That doesn't make sense. But like motivational videos for like, I don't know, when I don't feel like going to work.
Right. That's cool.
When I started, I've had a job for about a month. I work with minimum wage. I won't say where, because we're public on broadcast and I don't know who's watching. But after the said minimum wage job is done, I go home, and really I've actually been avoiding movies, and I've been thinking about like getting more books in here. The reason that movies aren't really like catching my eyes anymore like they used to is I watched a lot of movies as a kid. I watched all kinds of movies, and if I were to list them, like I would change the subject because of a movie that I might mention where I could get into that one. But I loved them as a kid, but as time grew, I just kind of grew an awareness of everything around me. And then I realized I started to actually analyze the life that movies are trying to depict. Right? Movies are very stereotypical, and they get a lot of things right, and they get a lot of things wrong. But they're giving you all this information, which when I was a kid at the time was cool, because then I see like different things people have done in the past. Which, what's so great about heist movies is that technically that never happened, but it's happened before, and it threw my imagination wild when I would watch movies like that and be like, whoa, people have pulled that off before. But not just heist movies, like things like military op movies where they like show you where a lone soldier is shipped overseas to go on an assassination mission, like Black Ops missions people don't know about. I used to enjoy those movies a lot. Nowadays I don't really watch too many movies. It's just I'm stressing a lot is why. I'm stressing a lot about progressing, and I'm stressing a lot about trying to figure out where my money is going to go. Now that I got a job and I got a little bit of money coming in, now I just got to figure out where each drop of water is going to go. And I'm just building a garden with companies.
Gotcha. Okay. On that note, we're going to go ahead and take a musical break. I'm going to go ahead and play your track called F the Money by Undead Exspiravit.
I've known sorrow, I felt pain too. You think this crazy? We insane too. Living life, I've been lost in my mind too. Dropped, falling through the sky, left my parachute. Walk my way with interest, I see you on a mission. You see me as strong, I'm glad you love how I'm alive. I keep falling deeper in this hole, so I am out of time. I think I'll be fine because I'm so used to the distance. Look like depressing, but it's not these I'm missing. I don't play with feelings, girl, but but you got bad intentions. I could roll like sailor, bitch, I'm burning all the bridges. I'm sailing through undrifted, can't compete, no competition. Been so the money, I done got my dollars flipping. I don't need to come up, I don't need your recognition. Tucson, see my image, we got posters in your village. I got 3 grams in this, and I don't think you need to hit it. Yeah, I get loud as down as you know I'm with it. He said let's get it, promise you was wicked. All of that talking, you end up with us and gutters quick. Gutters quick, the neighbors pulled us short. It's the money, the fame, the digits. I search for my soul, I smoke my weed and push the pistons. I don't think you understand, but somehow you can see my vision. Somehow you can see my soul, and somehow you can hear me in it. It's the money, the fame, the digits. I search for my soul, I smoke my weed and push the pistons. I don't think you understand, but somehow you can see my vision. Somehow you can see my soul, and somehow you can hear me in it. Look for me, look for me. I'm looking for my shine, so can you shine for me? I'm ready for this ride, so ride for me. Vibe with me or get the lost, really get the lost, really get the lost, really. I just want my millies, my little pocket. Send me, it could blow like Billy. Make my aim on point like Bentley, like Bentley, like Bentley, like Bentley. Ayy, I feel way too cold at night. I'm working over zone catacombs in my mental chambers, dead man in my home, and all these voices silent though. Ever since I stayed at home, ever since I made it out, I made this crazy life my own. I felt way too cold at night. I'm working over zone catacombs in my mental chambers, dead man in my home, and all these voices silent though. Ever since I stayed at home, ever since I made it out, I made this crazy life my own. It's the money, I done got my dollars flipping. I don't need to come up, I don't need your recognition. Tucson, see my image, we got posters in your village. I got 3 grams in this, and I don't think you need to hit it. Yeah, I get loud as down as you know I'm with it. He said let's get it, promise you was wicked. All of that talking, you end up with us and gutters quick. Gutters quick, the neighbors pulled us short. It's the money, the fame, the digits. I search for my soul, I smoke my weed and push the pistons. I don't think you understand, but somehow you can see my vision. Somehow you can see my soul, and somehow you can hear me in it. It's the money, the fame, the digits. I search for my soul, I smoke my weed and push the pistons. I don't think you understand, but somehow you can see my vision. Somehow you can see my soul, and somehow you can hear me in it. It's the money, the fame, the digits. I search for my soul, I smoke my weed and push the pistons. I don't think you understand, but somehow you can see my vision. Somehow you can see my soul, and somehow you can hear me in it. It's the money, the fame, the digits. I search for my soul, I smoke my weed and push the pistons. I don't think you understand, but somehow you can see my vision. Somehow you can see my soul, and somehow you can hear me in it. I've known sorrow, I felt pain too. You think this crazy? We insane too.
You're listening to 99.1 FM Downtown Radio, your antidote to corporate radio. You're now tuned into SpeakerBox X, Subterranean Hip Hop in Effect, with your host, V-Riv. We just played the track called F the Money by Undead Exspiravit, and we're just diving into his mind, and we're going to go ahead and find out what's the backdrop story to F the Money. Because money's the root of all evil, but I want to know your take on it.
I love how you brought that up real quick. How I love how you slipped it in about how the money being the root of all evil. It is, but it isn't, and it is. Yeah. You could go back and forth about that all day. When okay, the song came together as usually when I write songs like these, they're kind of like summaries. They're just like maybe like a diary entry. But I'm not talking to nobody. Like, I'm making a song, and I'm making like stuff that I think about, and I just make it pop. Listening to F the Money after I recorded, I really felt like it's very expressive about what people might think after I make it and I make all these millions of dollars, after I do become a successful person. Even if it's not through music, I might just launch a clothing brand, let that take off, and then minimum job becomes a higher paying job. Who knows? They might not come from the music until I'm an adult or way off an adult. I'll be an old person. But before I take it too far, the point's there. Like, after I reach that peak, people are thinking, oh, he's doing this, he's doing that. I've had this mentality from the start. I'm saying it right now. Before I'm 18, before I'm 21, before I'm 23, before I'm 30, I've said this from the jump. And I've known where I'm from. I've known what I've done, and I know who I've been from the jump. People gotta take a million years, compress it into 3 years, or something like that. They gotta grow up quick. But for people that don't, they gotta watch us and figure it out. And they either do or they don't.
True. Very true.
I was expected not to.
So that's okay. That's your perspective on F the money. No, I like it. Yeah. Your thought process is pretty interesting. Let me go ahead and ask you in the next question. Who do you look up to? Who do you look up to?
Nobody right now. It used to be a lot of people. It used to be it sounds kind of, I guess it might sound selfish if I say that, like that I think I'm better than everybody. I really don't. That's not what I think. That's not. I'm in this race just like you. There's just, it's hard to look up to people because you might find nobody's perfect. You know, you have your people that just, you have the good examples, but the people that are the bad examples are not always the bad example sometimes. The fact that people change is such, it's a driving factor that causes me to like change how I view about people. If people can change their views about somebody who done something terrible, and you know, people could automatically look up to that person. Are they still a terrible person?
I guess it just depends on what.
And are the people that look up to that person?
Yeah.
Terrible. But then you got somebody who everybody looks up to, and they're, you know, they think they're gods, and because they think they're gods, it causes them to be terrible people.
Very true. Okay, I see.
They're terrible people.
Yeah.
They're terrible people in the shadows. The terrible people who are bad in the light, you know, but they'll give all their money, which is only $5 because that's all they make that day, honest work. Or maybe, or even if they stole the $5 and they gave it to somebody else, like,
yeah,
people will say that's ridiculous. They're committing a crime.
Right. Very true. My next question to you is, this is just a fun question. What was your favorite Halloween costume growing up?
It wasn't it's not what you think. It's not a ghost. It's I actually I like ninja outfits a lot. So it's close, but it's not the same. I like ninja outfits a lot. I like the martial arts outfits. And
cool.
You know, I didn't like study it. Like I never went to classes for it. But I had classes, like something, I've had one-on-ones with people who have shown me a couple things in like martial arts, but yeah, ninjas. I like ninjas.
You like what they represent, right? They're stealth. They're very quiet, you know. I mean, I don't know. Ninjas are cool. I think I think about the Ninja Turtles. I'm a big fan of Ninja Turtles, even though that's like, you know, that's a cartoon and whatnot. But that, you know, stemmed my love for ninjas, but you know, the real ninjas, because yeah, they're dope because they're, you know, they're very stealth in the way they conduct themselves and the way they attack.
Around when the Ninja Turtles came out, and I'm gonna speak on when old cartoons like this came out, because it may have been before I was born, but promise, I did my research. Real ninjas, like you said, were also cartoonized and popularized along with the Ninja Turtles. When I was watching both of those, even in comparison, it was like the turtles were funny. The ninja guys were, the real ninjas were kind of scary. So it was like a funny, scary alternative. This is interesting growing up.
Very true, yeah. Oh, that's funny.
When you grow up, you start diving into the wonder what is so mysterious? Why are they so scary? Oh, they're undercover spies is what they are.
Yeah.
The modern idea for one is like a Japanese spy or something like that.
Yeah. True.
But that's obviously only one. That's only one like perspective of a ninja. Everybody's got their own, and you can always create a new one.
Oh yeah, 100% for sure. So we're almost at the tail end of the conversation of the interview. How can people support your work, your art? What would be the best way to support you?
I got one link, and it's on my Facebook. Easy to find. Teo the Ghost is my Facebook, and it's kind of a pipeline to kind of get to my work, but it's not like I'm not putting like a Spotify link at the end of the tunnel. You're actually getting to me, and you're getting to interact with everything that I do. If you hop on I have my own server on here on Discord, and stuff like that is just ways you can connect to me on. I have an account on probably whatever platforms you use, whoever's watching.
Cool. Okay. What's your future plans? Do you have any future plans on releasing an album, collaborating with any artists in Tucson? What are your future plans?
Anybody in Tucson watching this, you can hit me up. There's all kinds of artists I have in mind. I'm not sure who to hit up first. And you know how schedules are. Schedules are extremely tight with everybody. Nobody knows what they're doing yet. And when we do figure it out, though, like, I do want us to collaborate a lot more. And anybody new who's going to step up to the scene. If you're going to step, now's the time to do it. Now is the perfect time to be an artist in Tucson, Arizona, because of what's building around here. I'm not the only one with an LLC on the way. There's people out here with labels, with LLCs, with websites that are happening in the city. And I got a lot of appreciation for stuff like that. I like other creators here. It's good to see. Cool. And I think we should see more of that.
No, for sure. For sure. So what do you think Tucson lacks? And what if you could pinpoint what Tucson lacks, what would it be? What do you think lacks?
Connection.
Okay. Wow, just one word, connection. Yeah, okay. I agree with you. I just feel like I don't know, I talked about this before. There's a lot of venues closed down, and we need more open spaces, more spaces where artists can perform and do their thing. And I feel like we need more people to step up to the plate to have those spaces, to open those spaces. Because I mean, it's good that we have artists, and a lot of artists are coming through, but we also need to have spaces for them available. Because I feel like there's like a fight for spaces. You know what I mean? Like there's like turfs kind of being claimed without saying they're being claimed. You know, as kind of like how it's kind of cliquish. I feel like Tucson is still cliquish, and I talked about that with the Aquafied Boogie Bros when they were here. What's your opinion on it? Do you feel like Tucson's still kind of cliquish, or what's your opinion?
I'll acknowledge that it is. I'll confirm as an artist who has reached out to many of these venues and has had experiences with some of these venues. It's definitely a thing. I rest my case on the one word. I still think connection would solve all of that.
Connection.
All it takes is one artist, five listeners in your city. You get enough artists. Your reputation as a musician in the city is about how much people you can pull, how much people you can bring to a concert, or how many people you can point to somebody's link and say, "Hey, go here," and they actually go there. That's what makes your name out here. And you can't define that with a SoundCloud number. You can't define that with how much money's in your bank account. You can only do that with your connection. And I feel like if more artists devoted their time and attention and funds and resources into just the connection, making these things happen in the real life. I'm not talking about setting up a Facebook page and spending money on advertising and all that. No. Invest in the connection so that there will be people to go there in the first place. Have people in the real world so they can type up on their computer, so we can have these things, so we can have a network. So I like reaching out to your network and your station, because I get good vibes from your live streams and everything you guys cover when you talk. You actually dive into the subject. there is connection in your channel.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Well, SpeakerBox X strives to be unique in its format. Like we do strive to bring in new artists, new talent, but also to know who's behind the mask. Like who are you in real life besides the music? Like, you know what I mean? Because I feel like that's integral. I feel like, we have so many fake rappers. They have this persona that they show you as an artist, but when in real life, there's someone else. And I kind of like, you know what I mean? It's just kind of fun to see how different it is or how similar they are. Are they very similar to the persona that they say they are, like when they're
That
on
they
stage?
portray online.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or they faking it and you just expose somebody and now they gotta quit their rap career.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said, yeah, I mean, I feel like Tucson has a lot of yin and yang going on. We have a lot of duality. There's some artists that I was like, wow, they must be dope behind the scene. They must have so much to say. And then you interview them and you're like, oh, like, you know what I mean? It just changes your whole view on them. Like, okay, I thought
It probably feels very choppy. Like it probably feels very choppy to talk to somebody who's like had no idea about the interview before it happened, and he's like somebody who's just so, like I probably zoned out a few times during the video. That was just I was trying to find what to say. People might just be sitting there like staring at the screen, like expecting you to say something. And I pick up on little stuff like that when I'm video chatting people, and it's why.
No, yeah, but no, it's just interesting because like, there'll be some really dope music that some artists make. You're like, wow, like they must be able to talk for hours, but then when you talk to them, it's like clear cut. It's like you ask them a question and then they answer it and then that's it. They don't dive into it. And they're it's very logical, their approach.
Nobody says that. Nobody says dive into it. Like
yeah,
people just talk about it and it's done. And they move on. Everybody moves on so quickly.
Yeah.
We were just doing this.
No, for sure.
No,
yeah.
It's a lot of. I got nothing but love for this city. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a struggle, but
yeah.
We will bring a voice to this city.
Yeah.
I'm not the only one who's doing it.
Yeah, one way or another. I think we're all doing our part, and hopefully it will pan out. But it's gonna take some time. It's like you just have to strike the match at the right point. I just feel like it's one of those things. You gotta keep striking it, and then finally something's gotta give. So I feel like we're gonna, sometime soon. I feel like that's gonna happen. We're gonna be able to light the city on fire, and I think that we are the matches. We are all doing our part to light the city, and we see sparks of it. We do, but then what I mean. But then we have those winds that come in from somewhere.
Each match has to have a little bit of tinder,
right? Yeah.
If every match had just a little bit of tinder, you would have a stream going on. Whole place would be lit.
For sure. But yeah, I guess we need more connections, like you said. We need more tender loving going on, because maybe there's too much, division in some aspects in our city.
Tender.
Tender. But yeah, so I mean, I feel like but yeah, so I feel like more people need to connect and need to be themselves, and I think once that happens, we'll be able to showcase the talent that's here, because there's a lot of talent. And I feel like a lot of these venues need to open up to more artists like you and like other artists, because I feel like they're also being claimed by certain artists. And I mean, that's cool, but at the same time, you know what? It gets old. I feel like
it makes you have to go start your own. And
yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
I'm starting my own, and I'm welcoming features, collaboration, whatever. I'll cover the production costs for all that. I don't care about that. I just want to do it. I'm doing it because it's fun.
Yeah.
You guys are trying to get rich off of it. That's the next step.
Right. Yeah. First, to have fun, and then if it pans out, if you do make money off it, great. If you become a millionaire, great. But it shouldn't be the objective. I feel like an artist's objective should be that you want to showcase.
You should try to be a millionaire anyway. Do whatever you got to do to be a millionaire. That's what they tell. That's what they tell you on the East Coast. That's what they tell you in places of I ain't been everywhere.
Don't. I guess what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say is like, don't sell yourself short. And do you. First of all, always do you. But if it pans out, if you make money, great. But I know a lot of artists are not going to be able to make millions. It's just a fact, you know what I mean? But they should be doing it because they love it. It comes from the heart. They're telling a story, and we got to keep that story going, because hip hop is all about storytelling, and everybody has their own story, and that's what makes it so beautiful. This this blanket. I like to call it like this, like blanket full of different stories. Like if I were to create a blanket, you have all these tracks that make up, that helped you through things through your life. So, I see it like that. I see hip hop as this unweaving, not unweaving, but this weaving of stories, and how everybody is part of everyone's life in some weird way. You know what I mean? It's pretty cool. So, but yeah.
And it's even cooler for me. It's even cooler for me to plug into the universe. I feel like I'm in a spaceship and I'm just seeing everybody else's world.
Yeah.
Because I have my world, but my world, I take my world wherever I go. You see me, and I am the world. But that's to me, and I'm the world because the world's moving with me. The world goes where I go. That's because I've moved a lot of different places. Yeah. I played the go to mom's house and then go to dad's house game when I was a kid, going back and forth. Everybody has to go, oh, well, because when your parents are not apart or when they're not together, you got to go to one person's house and then you spend time at the other parent's house, and that's even if they have split custody. Most kids,
yeah.
Some kids don't get to experience that, but some kids do.
Very true.
And you're moving around so much, it's kind of, you're still the same person in each place you go, but there's different people trying to influence you different, trying to switch you to do this, try to get you to do that. No, because the last 3 places I've been, they said that's not okay.
Yeah.
And I have to go off of like knowledge I picked up from the place before, and I'm just and I feel like I get stuck, like I'm on a planet. I love when time freezes and I feel like I'm just not knowing what to do when you're trying to figure out your objective, the main one. You got all these ones over here. You got a to-do list, but what's the objective? Sometimes because the to-do list might feel like it's not going anywhere. You're doing all this stuff and you're doing it, but it doesn't feel like you don't feel your own impact.
Yeah.
And it can be troubling sometimes. After kind of, I hate feeling stuck on one place, so I'm always trying to go see something new, trying to go explore something, trying to go here, trying to go there. Oh, maybe we can set something up on this planet. Maybe we can, but then everything is in space.
Yeah. Or everything's.
You can't just.
Yeah, you're right. Everything's out. Yeah, you're right. That's
you can't just park your ship in space. You're just gonna be floating, and it's just gonna be. I mean, they do park in space. They're not going anywhere, and they see the same thing until they go somewhere and find something interesting on the side, like a cool planet.
True. So when you talk about so when you talk about planets, you're talking about people, right? Just when you talk about planets, you talk about other people. Okay, just for the listener to in case they're kind of like wondering what do you mean by that.
It could be a person.
Okay.
A group of people and one idea that they represent.
Okay.
Entities, places. It could, when you step into a room and everybody is on this, everybody agrees on one thing. That's a world.
Gotcha. Okay. I like that. Yeah, for sure. So we're almost at the tail end of the interview. I'm going to ask you one last question. What are your words of wisdom for someone who wants to do what you're doing? What are your words of wisdom?
You're in the wrong room because you're trying to do what I'm doing. Do what you need to do. I'm so serious. You can't. If you're trying to do what somebody else is doing, you're not going to be able to accomplish it the way they did it. So just let that go from the jump. You can do something. You can be like that, but you gotta know what that takes. You either got it or you don't.
Okay, what's your advice to anybody wanting to become an MC? I guess that's how I should phrase it better. I think that's a better phrase. Like, what would you advise anyone that's wanting to come up in the game? What would be your words of advice?
Well, there's a reason that brought you here. There's a reason that you're holding that microphone. People are going to try to take that microphone away from you. So, and that's why people are so sensitive about you having that microphone. You can change things with that thing. You could use it as a blessing, or you can ruin somebody's life with that thing. You can ruin your own life with a microphone. So if you're going to use it right, and don't hold back. People can see that.
Okay, wow. Okay. With that, thank you. You've been a really dope person to interview. You're very I don't know, you're very deep and you have a way of saying things that's super unique. We just interviewed Undead Exspiravit. Make sure to check out his stuff because it's dope. It's been a pleasure to interview you and to get to know who you are behind the scenes. And I can't wait to hear more music from you. I hope you drop an album soon. Is that in the works or?
Yeah, Vermilion. I'm gonna work on something with Vermilion Skies. He's at the top of my SoundCloud page right now, so check his stuff out. We're gonna probably make something in the future. A lot more songs that sound like ones that I've been coming up. Probably not like them, but look up Swiss of Sweets. Coming out with something soon. You got the jump now.
All right, with that, yeah, I'll talk to you later. I hope you have a great evening. I know it's getting dark already outside. But yeah, I can't wait to hear more stuff from you. And thanks for being on SpeakerBox X and for dropping some knowledge on your music.
Man, I appreciate y'all. You guys are the best. Keep watching the station for real.
Cool. Thank you. Appreciate it, man. All right, have a good night.